Hello everyone, welcome back to Phoenix. I'm Phoenix, but you can call me Feeny, and today we're going to be playing Wylde Flower. Alright, so Wylde Flower is a super cute game. I'm torn on whether or not I like it. I like the concept, I like a lot of the gameplay. I don't appreciate that there's no fast travel. I like my fast travel, and there's no fast travel. So I started off playing this game on my phone, I believe. We're just going to start with my phone. So it's a fine game. It works. I don't know how to say it. The touch is great. It makes complete sense to be touchscreen, and all the controls are intuitive and super easy to figure out and execute. I didn't like the small screen. That's going to be my biggest concern and complaint with the phone version of this game. And with that, it was pretty unremarkable. So moving on to iPad. So my iPad was slightly better at playing on, if not much better, because the screen size, the controls were intuitive and fun to play. No complaints. The gameplay, it was just fun experience, and all the controls were easy enough, especially considering the bigger screen, because I believe in last episode, which should be linked in the upper right hand corner, where we covered Alba, it wasn't an issue that it was a bigger screen. You can put it down and just play, and you have to move your hands around a little bit, but there's no camera work. So considering all that, it was a good experience. That leaves us with the Mac. The Mac was also a really good experience. I think I prefer it the most, simply because it is a big screen and I can use a controller with it. So I did do WASD keys and the whole using the keyboard and trackpad, and it was a fine experience. It isn't my favorite experience. It's a theme in this. It's nothing saying that it's a bad experience or that it's not a good one. It's just not one that I like. So of course I'm going to say it wasn't that great. I guess I should change that to it wasn't so great for me. But when I got to the controller part, where I tried with the controller, I really liked the game. It was fun. It was relatively easy. It's a very easy game. It's not a hard game. So honestly, that's all I really have to say for Mac. In terms of saves, I had no issues with saves, no conflicts, nothing. I think just once, it was hey, are you sure you want to keep this save or the cloud save? And obviously I chose the newer one, so I think that I only had an issue with that once, if that. In terms of gameplay, it's a super cute game. Weird mysteries, weird town. It's funny. She even said, I think at one point, the mayor was oh, I have a game where you have to meet everyone in town. And she's that's kind of creepy. And I'm that is kind of creepy. But it's a mixture of on the nose humor and being cringe. That's where I'm torn on whether or not I like this game, is because it's pretty damn predictable and it's cringe. And I feel bad for saying that, but it is cringy. And I found myself wanting to strangle people a few times. So it just wasn't an enthralling experience, you could say. But it was enough to keep me playing, and I will probably finish the game because I am curious. And you know what they say, curiosity killed the cat. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm here for the next video. But the storyline, I don't want to spoil too much. I mean, it's pretty early on in the game, but if you don't like magical games, probably don't play this. So he's playing with another rock. Okay, so if you don't like the magical experiences, I wouldn't recommend this game for you. Overall, my biggest gripe with the game is probably the running around. It's quite tedious, and I don't really have anything else to say about this game. So, sir. Of course, this cat likes cables. Bad cat. I'm sorry, you're not allowed cables. Mom is trying to do something. I know, I'm sorry. Okay, so I didn't feel like I had enough to say about this game, so I decided to continue playing it. And to be perfectly honest with you, I got hooked. And by hooked, I mean I probably have at least 40 hours into this game. And I started really enjoying it, or at least enjoying it a lot more than I previously stated. So with that being said, I think this is a really fun game. I personally do not and have not been really listening to the voiced dialogue. I have a weird quirk where I typically forget games even have audio, and I genuinely forget to play games with the audio on, to the point where I was playing The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for the first time, fighting Thunderblight Ganon. I did not know when to parry, so I looked up the tutorial and they said, yeah, you're supposed to listen for like a ping and then you parry. Like you're listening for a noise and then you parry. And I had been playing this game up until that point, probably like several days, like nonstop, 8-hour sessions. And I may or may not have had the audio on. So I was like, right, this game has audio. And I end up turning the audio on and I immediately get the fight. It wasn't that hard. But it was impossible because I couldn't hear when like the noise he makes before trying to blast you. And that just really solidified in my head that the amount of times I have been playing games with no sound is a lot. Like, part of my issue is I tend to play games in a house where there's not a lot of space. So I'm typically pretty close to other people, so I play with little to no volume, or I have headphones on. In this case, we didn't really have headphones. I was like in the living room playing on the TV, and we didn't have any headphones. And it wasn't like I was gonna hook up the sound system and be blasting Breath of the Wild music. As great as that is, I'm not doing that at 10 p.m. So with that in mind, it makes sense why I don't do that, but there are so many times that I will start playing a game and I will just not be playing with sound. And game is one of them. So overall, I find the game relatively fun. The issues that I've had with the game pretty much resolve themselves later on. For example, I don't want to give too many spoilers, but you can increase her walking speed and eventually you will unlock a fast travel option. So those two big gripes got solved, and the story is actually kind of interesting. Somebody on Reddit, I think somewhere, I'll put it up if I can find it. If I can't, well, I'm sorry, but said that they likened it to Stardew Valley, which I'm excited because soon I will be playing Stardew Valley. Look out for that video. And if it's up, it'll be up here in the top right corner. So honestly, this game isn't that bad. And with that, goodbye.
Yeah, hey. Cause I can't write, I can't learn my lesson. I can't write, take antidepressants. Illness and welfare robbed my adolescence. My friends.